So in my head, I'm like, oh my God, it's going to happen now.
We're back again with yet another episode, another one. Welcome to Live Seasons, where every season finds its voice. I think I've done it right?
Every season of life finds its voice.
Every season of life finds its voice.
You were right over there. You are right there.
Yes. So guys, welcome. So this time round, we're going to be talking about our journey to tying the knot to marriage. Yeah. So Monday is going to pick it up from where she left. And go ahead.
Yeah, we're just trying to switch things around. I'm just telling Kenji, okay, how can we do this differently? They need to hear a different voice in the beginning. So well done for that intro. True. So we are continuing on with this conversation on our journey to tying the knot. And we're just trying to share how we really got there. What are some of the things we had to really think about? What are some of the loose ends that we had to tighten? What are some of the the areas in the foundation that we had built that were weak and had gaps and had holes, and the walls that we talk about that are weak, that we just needed to rebuild, and so that we can prepare for a better marriage experience.
Correct.
And so in this episode, I just wanted to find out how, you've shared already how you are, so you're on this journey, and now you're on a path of where you've transformed. You're transforming, and you're continuing to transform. An area that you've shared previously is your work situation, where you are on the grind, and you've done your photography, you've been, you've had jobs here and there, but maybe the finances are not really financing.
Adding up, yeah.
So how do you get to the space where this is your financial situation, but your heart and your mind and your will, everything is ready to pursue this woman to that journey of, I want you to be my wife. So how do you handle that? And I feel like it's so big for men.
Yeah.
I mean, women too, actually. But like for you, what was that like?
Yeah. Hey, first, I just remembered I was an Uber driver for 3 months. And this is wow. When it comes to the grind, let me tell you, this Nairobi, I have done things. So I remember this Uber was pretty much new. So let me now take you through kind of my financial journey. And I'll tie it in with how I still made a decision to get married. So this is still 2015. I promise. Please
stop this.
I'm telling you, that was the year.
We need a reel of this 2015.
Imagine that was the year. Because that's when, so that's when I first got a car. That's when I got my first car. And yes, it was the time. Okay, now let me tell you why, because I know the dates very well. The time that we actually started dating, do you remember? I used to pick you and we'd do runs. Like I would take you to Ngong Hills. Sometimes you'd go to Karura for a run. Yeah. So anyway, this is late 2015 going into 2016. So I decided, so my mom had started a biashara where she would furnish houses and also get a car for diplomats. Yeah, so it would come as a package. So when she was getting that car, by the way, my first car wasn't me who bought it. It was my mom's biashara that was meant to finance that car. It was like, it's part of a business. So if she gets the right clientele. They were meant to pay for the house and the car as a package. Now, what happened is the guy who came took the house but didn't take the car. So the car was idle for a few months. And when I say idle, mom gave me to just move around with it as she looks for a client. But at this time, she was actively looking for a client to pay back the car. So it happened, and God in his wisdom did not bring the client. So what we decided, because she saw me struggling, trying to even fuel the car. My bro gave me an idea. So at that time he was working at the bank. So Mott tells me, but this thing called Uber. So I'd heard of it, of course I knew Uber, but it hadn't come to Kenya. It wasn't launched in Kenya. So officially, I think the first Uber drivers came in late 2014, 2015. Actually 2015, because Mott was financing those guys. He was at the bank and he was working at credit. So he'd finance guys to get a car loan, and they would go into, so as a taxi driver, and would go into the Uber business. So what do? I go to NTSA, I get the license, I start doing this for 3 months. This is still 2015 because I know the dates very well. But it was a tough business. I mean, what it was doing, it brought me back to that lifestyle. Because a lot of times I would turn on the Uber app from 6 p.m. Because during the day, I've taken Niara to school. Niara had started school. So our daughter had started school, so I had to take her from Karen to Loresho daily, every day, like every single day. And before even, and I was struggling even to get fuel. So what I'd do is, I'd turn on the Uber app from around 6 o'clock. And I remember the first weeks I used to do it chini ya maji. Like I never wanted anyone to know because there's this thing when you're trying to protect a grind, you don't want people to speak into it.
Or you speak you out of it.
Or out of it, exactly. So I did it for a couple of weeks, and then I started realizing, oh my gosh, the people I used to pick. At that time, I remember picking a client from, you remember Rafiki's in Langata? So there was this bar in Langata at the Petit. And Kidum, you remember Kidum? Kidum used to play, I think every Wednesday and Saturday. Oh my gosh. I made money there.
Oh, really?
Ferrying people, drunk guys.
Oh, for real?
Oh my gosh.
So you were like Njoroa Uber?
Yeah, I made cash.
You actually
So I didn't know.
So
the thing at that time, there are not many requests. So I'd ferry someone, come back. Right now there's a lot. You take someone to, you'd say if you're taking them to the airport, you'd get a request from the airport coming back. So at that time, not many people were using Uber. So a few people, and the people who used to use it were guys like you and I. So young folk and mostly guys who were at the party scene.
Okay.
So it brought me back into that lifestyle where I started to, now kind of have to be out. So I have maybe like a small boti in the car just to keep me, so that I don't doze off,
You are drinking and driving.
But just
driving.
But risky, but I guess we're on the grind. So because waiting for someone, and I was outside the club. Anyway, so
this is because you had to do it in the evening.
I had to do it in the evening, and I started to notice, by the way, this thing is drawing me back to that lifestyle. That's why I didn't do it for long.
Oh, interesting.
Then I started gaining confidence. I started telling some of my boys, oh, by the way, guys, it's not that I was ashamed of, but I wasn't ashamed at all.
Okay.
I just didn't want them because I knew if I tell them I'm around at night, they would want us to hang out and I would miss making cash to get us to fuel so that I have money to take me at school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I did that for like about 3 months, but there were 3 solid months. I didn't do it for too long, but I remember those episodes. I remember there's even someone we took to Kahawa Sukari. That's the one that I was a bit scared because the corners I was taking.
Yeah, and then
and the Uber app was like it was getting the points wrong.
Oh. It wasn't as sophisticated as it is now.
So I would go to the back of the house and then they're like, no, come to this other side. So I go around and I'm like, if someone saw the laps I'm making
those days there was nothing like uko wapi? Uko misi kuji. Pana cancel.
Yeah, but the money was good.
Okay.
Quite frankly, you could make some decent cash in a night and you wouldn't have to do any form of job during the day. So anyway, fast forward, so I dropped that hustle. Then I'm at home, of course, still looking for small gigs.
Yeah.
Who calls me?
I don't know.
Outside. Yeah, and hands me this job at KV. So I work in this art center along Gong Road for about a year. Then I got fired. Now, during this year, I even decided to move out.
Yeah.
So I took a leap of faith. Yeah, I remember, in fact, shout out Karemi and George. You remember they paid my first deposit in that house in Karinde. I was scared because I had calculated my cash. And I'm like, can I really live away from home? Can I manage that lifestyle? I wasn't sure, but I remember the in-laws actually encouraged me. Yeah, they're like, boss, this thing, no one is ever served on a silver platter. You jump for it and imagine the finances will follow. So
I'm sure someone is like, no, plan fast.
Yeah, so now take that principle of you take a leap of faith and you let faith carry you along. So I did take a leap of faith. I moved out. I went into that single room, but do you remember how it had nothing?
Yeah.
Like nothing. It was an echo. So I lived there for almost about close to a year. In fact, I think it was a year. And then I couldn't finance the house anymore. I lost my job. So what happened is my mom supported me, I think, for a month. Yeah, because I told her, hey, I'm in between things. And if you can just help me shikilia rent for a few months. But her, she was not for that. She saw how, yani,
yeah, this you're forcing.
I'm forcing. I can't manage this house. So anyway, I think she paid 1 month, tops 2 months, and I remember I couldn't make ends meet. So the humility of going back home.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that wasn't easy. Because I thought I could tag it out for maybe another 2-3 months and maybe see if I can get another job in the interim. But it didn't happen. So anyway, I had to go back home and start again.
Yeah. So you had to move back home, and then now you've moved back home. You're dating me. First of all, I remember we even signed up for a marriage program, Ndoa. So it's almost like you're planning your life, and then you're also pursuing this idea of marriage and all those things. What was it like for you having to have this parallel things happening? You're trying to get your, let me say, career path in order. Like you're you're looking for work. Now you've moved out of the house. Maybe you're thinking, this job, from this I'll grow and whatever. But now you've had to move back home because things didn't work out as they should have. And then on this other side, you're also, we're still dating. I remember you signed us up to a program, a marriage program. So in your mind, you still have the confidence that you're going for this tying the knot thing. At any point, did you feel like, okay, now I've moved back home, I can't continue to pursue this thing?
Of course, there are times of doubt, because the reality around me was showing you can't do this.
Yeah.
You're not eligible to get married. Neither is this the time for you.
Yeah.
But remember, now I've started to build my faith muscle, because I'm also growing closer to God, and He's teaching me new ways. He's teaching me faith is His currency. Like, you want me to get His attention? If you want my attention, faith it. Don't come with your plan. Listen to my plan, and then jump into it.
Wow.
So,
and that goes against every rule book.
Those rule books you throw away. So I told you, Manze, when you come to handle yourself, when you're listening to God,
the views of the guests are not life seasons. Disclaimer. And,
don't try this at home.
Don't try this at home.
But by all means, please take a risk and trust God. So yeah. So now this is my situation. So even now going back home, I look for a job. I decide now this is the time. I'm like done with all this.
With all
just this grind, this little. Let me just say, I don't call it petty money, but I'm tired of the inconsistencies of the grind. So now I came to terms with I must now build my own biashara.
So you must build your own grind.
Yes.
So the inconsistency of the grind is meaning because it's other people's, it's not necessarily yours.
And then I'm just doing it for money. I'm doing it for money. And I at that time, in as much as, yes, I am in a job, I was doing it because I need to support my child. But there was no other reason.
Yeah.
No other reason. If you gave me an option, I wouldn't have taken that job.
Otherwise you'd have continued.
I'd have just continued
building your photography.
Or just because I came to terms also with the fact that I am the best creative, but I'm a great manager of talent. Yeah. So that made me realize if I start my thing now and trust God again, maybe, just maybe, there could be a breakthrough. So funny thing, things are just falling in place. Now I remember I'm at home.
Yeah.
The only way is up. I need to try get out of home because my pursuit is for marriage. I can't get married at home.
Yeah.
So I need to continue grinding, trusting God, and then watching Him do His thing until we get married. Yeah. So that's when this opportunity with Jeff came up.
Yeah.
With Kijani, starting Kijani. So I met up with. So I had an old friend who literally grew up in the same hood, but he's much older and we got to reconnect later in life. And he was trained in the agency world. And I think after much, because we were pals, after much consideration, we thought perhaps if we could partner, maybe, just maybe, we could get some business out here.
Yeah.
Boy, weren't we wrong? We weren't wrong. we did partner, and we actually started to build something significant. Yeah. So
Nice.
so we got into this business together. This is now fast forward 2017. Remember, it was an election year in August. So we had started the ideation process, and by then I'd already started working with him on many other projects on the side. But now, August 5th, I will never forget.
Wow, gosh, you're so good with dates.
Yes, August 5th, 2017, because it was election. The day guys went to vote, we were at the office. So we finished voting, we went to the office to put styrofoam, because we'd taken like an old SQ, which was a store. Yeah. And that's how we started the grind. And slowly, fast forward, I started earning at least an income, a salary. It was I think it was like 30 Gs, which let me not diminish that, because it helped pay a lot of things, at least fuel, or sometimes now I moved out again. So I went back and looked for a house somewhere in Kikuyu. Again, just basic. It was a mattress on the floor. But then I said, I will never invite anyone to this home.
Oh, really?
My mom never went to the home. It's only my brother.
Your mom never came? She did.
She did not enter that. She came when I had furnished it, and that was almost a year after, when I was about to get married to you. Yeah. She didn't come when I had a mattress. She would have told me. And I had to protect myself from her views, because she'll just be a mom. She'll be like, why are you really struggling like this?
You have a bed.
You have a bed at home. It's not like you don't have food. It's not like you don't have a car. Why do you really want to move into this
shell
of a house?
By the way,
but I knew it was my path.
Let me just say, there's a video you shot when, I don't know if it was a few days after moving into this house, and there was like I don't know what it was, like a social media, I don't know what it was, like a competition or something. I'm going to plug that in here, because I'm going to plug that in here, because we just need to see that again.
So this is the front side of the house. This is that place that I call the garage. And this is the living room. That's my carpet and stool. Hey guys, bachelor life, this is so crazy. So this is my bathroom, man. Look at that. Now these are the bedrooms. This is the room that I wanted my daughter to have. This is my kitchen. It's like it's a thorough revamp. Yeah, let me give you a backstory. So that time, whether that's much later. Yes, it wasn't just when I'd freshly moved into the house.
Okay.
So I'd moved into the house, and now I'm trying to bring. So now I'm in pursuit of marrying you. So I'm trying to bring in the family. And we need items. I can't be getting you from caring to bring you into a dingy home like that. So there was this social media campaign. And by then those guys played me. But I've noticed these guys prey on desperate, weak individuals.
You actually connected with them? How do they play you?
No, what they did is, it's that era when it was like for like, follow for follow. Do you remember something of the sort, when people are trying to build social media pages? So they will be like, you follow me, I follow you back. Nonsense. So anyway, this guy had, the guy was legit, but the strategy was a scam. So he started a page where he would furnish homes, because he's good at DIY, and he was looking for a project, like a pet project. You get what I mean? So what he said, he was like, guys, put in a 1 minute submission of why you think I should DIY your home. And if you have such a legit reason, I got you, I'm coming through. But then let me tell you, I jumped on that thing because I was like, I'm trying to build this home and bring in my family. There's no way that place was not habitable for or conducive for family. It was good for someone who's single, but for our family, I liked the area, but the home itself was run down, dilapidated.
No, that's the word you'd use.
It was run down when
it was old. It was not, when you say run down, okay, for me, when you say run down, I start to picture something very like run down. It was actually habit. Don't forget, after you moved out, someone stayed there for a while. It was not that bad.
Okay, you know what? Let the audience be the judge.
Very humble beginnings.
Yeah, we'll play the video. Let them be the ones to say whether
it was not. The way you're describing it now starts to sound like maybe latrine. You know, people have latrine inje. Things are broken, sinks broken. Nini. It was not that bad.
It was an old house.
It was a place you can survive in. But it was old. It was old school, like zile red paint for the floor,
red ochre,
the shag style
with blue doors. My God!
But here you're saying it was
no,
what word have you just used?
It wasn't run down. Let me just say it was old.
Yeah, it was old.
So so now these are those experiences that started to build my muscle. Because I was faithing it all through. Even getting that house was a faith journey, remember?
Yeah.
Because I didn't have much. And I was thinking, if I pay already 15K, that's half
your salo.
My salo. Like, how will I survive? And I need to fuel the car and take you guys to and fro to school. Anyway, that's the financial journey. I mean, there's so much to talk about in between, but
Okay, so I'll come back to you. Let me just speak on this because I don't think I have much to add to really this story, but maybe a question that, even just looking at the world we live in today, money is big and important in relationships, or at least how it has been defined. And yes, it does, of course, help to, it's a tool that helps, accelerate things, right? But I think the culture today, or even our generation moving forward, we want money now. When we want a lot of it, like the aspect of starting small and gradually building slowly is rare to find today. Like, people don't want that story. Kwanza to struggle saizi alafu uko mbele.
For who?
For who? But this was really just a journey we had to walk, and I feel like, looking back, there's beauty in it. But I feel the reasons why I was able to, be sold to the Let's Build Together story is because I think I've seen my parents build together as well. I've seen my, in fact, I didn't see much of this, but I've seen, my dad being able to take us to travel to different places, and later in life, my mom becoming the person who is the breadwinner. So just understanding, first of all, that finances can shift in a relationship, and that today you could be the person who has it all together in the relationship. Maybe your business is doing well, your work is doing well, but it can shift. It can, life can happen.
And drastically.
Yeah. And I remember even in this, the marriage program we did, that was a conversation that came up. What if when life happens, what do you do? Because people can get sick to a point where they're incapacitated. People lose jobs. So I remember this guy used to say, you guys want, they lived happily ever after. Nonsense. Well, what happens when life happens? And we talked about real life situations. And I feel like that's also something that gave us a foundation to be able to, you know what, we can build together and just build that future that you both dream about and desire. So now, how did you manage to buy an engagement ring, which is an interesting story, because how did you...
Also shout out to Jeff. Jeff helps a lot. So my business partner then allowed me, I think he saw my journey and he saw how, don't say desperate, how...
in need.
Yes, how determined, that's the word. How determined I was to bag this, you know.
Yeah.
So what we decided is that I'll take a kind of a loan from the business, and then it will be cut off my salary month on month until I finish paying. Yeah. So he told me. So I had some little cash I had put aside. So what I did is I took the extra cash that the business loaned me. Then I went and bought a ring. So for me, the ring was very important because I'd already read what you like and what you need. And I saw it as an investment because it's not something you'd change the next day.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to give you a shady ring. Yeah, so I was just like, it's fine, let me just try and finger myself a bit, but let me give you something decent. So anyway, so that's how it happened. And then I paid for it slowly until when it was done, I'm like, yeah, freedom.
And so I guess maybe that's also why you're talking about like faithing it, because if you when you thinking about it, when you stay in this place of maybe you're afraid because things are not aligned and things are not working, then maybe you don't even get that spark to think about the possibilities that there could be.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I remember one time finding that ring before you proposed.
Oh my gosh.
Of course, we had talked about... But before all of this, we'd gotten to a point where...
You found it.
Yeah. Before all of this, we had gone to a marriage class. We'd also talked to some mentor couples, something else I think we forgot to talk about. Just about, being able to start to prepare towards this journey of marriage and, planning our future. But I remember now, so of course we talked about getting married and we were all on the same page with regards to that. So I guess you started to plan even buying the ring and all those things. Let me say, I never, honestly, because I knew our financial situation, I didn't know how that you'd propose at the time that you did.
Oh, I don't think, no, you had an idea.
I had an... So, no, the time when we were...
This is 2018.
Yes. So, I still didn't... Okay, let me explain. So, this one time, I don't know where we were, but we were working on, I guess, our laptops or something. I needed a charger to the laptop. Then you send me to your bag to get the laptop charger. Do you remember?
I just know it was on the one of the front small pockets.
So you even tell me, go open the front pocket, the charger is there.
Oh yeah, I led you to it.
This dude led me to where he'd kept the engagement ring. I'm just like, anyway, so I remember finding this ring. First of all, it was a red velvet box. And of course, curiosity, I opened it. Like, oh my gosh. It was just so, I don't think I'd seen an engagement ring before this. And so I was just like, Oh my gosh, like, wow. But now, in my head, I'm like, could it be? No way. I don't think so. We're not even in the financial space to be able to afford this right now. There's no way it's mine. And so first of all, I remember I looked, then I would return it, then I sat, then I opened again. I looked, I'm like, no, there's no way it's mine. So I even started to think, you're probably holding it for one of your friends. That's,
for real?
Yeah, that's what I started to convince myself. I'm like, he is probably holding this ring for one of his friends. That's what I convinced myself. But I was just like, how do you lead me to the place where you had hidden this thing? Hidden? No, it wasn't even hidden.
We don't even have a plan. Let me tell you, that's why we suck as dudes.
Don't speak for dudes.
No, okay, yeah, but
I use I statements.
Let me just use I statement. That's why I suck. I'm not the best at hiding things. For real. I just generally, I give out a lot of clues.
Yeah, maybe I can say you do. However, like when I think about even how just the proposal went, in as much as I knew, because I remember when I had to, by then at this time I was also working. So I remember I had to take leave from work. Wow, by the way, we've skipped so many things, important details, but it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
I remember I had to take leave from work, and when I was asking it wasn't my supervisor, but like who did I have to ask? I had to ask a colleague that I worked with because she was the account manager at the time, and so because I was account executive, she was account manager. So because we had to sort of align and take leave when there's not too much happening, I had to ask her first. I remember her saying, "Hey, but then when she started saying that, I'm like, I'm going. I mean, girl, I'm taking leave because I'm going to get proposed to. So you can't. I'm not even asking. I'm telling you that I need to go. So you can't say no. Yeah. So you can't say no. So I remember taking.
Oh really? So you knew it's going to happen?
Yeah, because I knew I was driving down to the coast for me to get proposed to.
Oh really?
The only thing is we're going to be there for 5 days.
Had you already told me that you've seen the ring?
No, I didn't tell you.
Oh, you didn't tell me?
I didn't tell you.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't.
This is interesting. So what happened?
I don't remember telling you. I don't think I told you. I think I just, because remember I didn't tell you.
Okay. Yeah. So now we go down to the coast. So you're given leave.
Yeah. So I was given leave. I was given permission to leave. So what I'm saying is that, so I know we are going down because you're going to ask me for my hand in marriage, but we're going for 5 days. So I didn't know when you're going to ask. Like there's a whole lot of 5 days. I didn't know when you're going to ask. And what's so interesting is, so first I've packed 5 white dresses. Because I guess, there's still that part of the girl that wants that picture perfect engagement. I don't know by there how people get those perfect pictures with their, they're all dressed up and everything. Anyway, so I thought I had that in mind. You know what? I'll be in a white dress and he'll propose and whatever it is. So I remember packing 5 white dresses, and driving down to the coast was also really interesting. You got this car, was it your brother's car? Because the reason we went with it was like, how many cc's? 2,000.
2,000. It was like 1,100.
1,100
yeah.
cc. So the fuel, how much money did we spend on fuel?
We spent
3K.
3 G's 500. To and fro.
3 G's 500.
Some people might not even believe.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah.
3,500 to and fro. Yeah.
So
I think it was even about 900 cc's. I'll ask. It's a Nissan Belter.
Yeah.
No Nissan, Toyota Belter.
Yeah. So we drove down. The drive was so much fun because
it was fun.
You drove halfway, I drove the rest of the way, and you're just playing nice music. It was, I mean, it's just so interesting.
And just how nice and easy.
Yeah. What I find beauty in this whole thing is just how, even in the humble beginnings or in the things that are not so, shiny, all out there, big and extravagant, like there's beauty in all of it. And so even when I look at just how we walked this path, even with the little finances that we had in our hands, there's a way you become resourceful with what God has placed in your hands. Correct. Or with what He's placed around you.
Correct.
So even being able to think, okay, yeah, let's get this car because the fuel we'll spend will be less. And, being able to talk to people, because the house we stayed in, you got a deal off of it because you knew the owner.
Yeah, it was actually a friend, one of my mom's friends.
Yeah.
And I just had to go and tell him the real deal. I was just like, by the way, I'm proposing.
Yeah, so...
And I need your help right now.
Right.
So he's like, what? So first he was happy for me, but he also just gave me the house. Yeah, because he's a don.
Yeah, so just being able to think, because that meant was forcing you to think, like you want to create an amazing experience, but how can you do it with the resources around you and the people around you? And I feel like that was really brilliant because it was still very beautiful.
It was.
Anyway, so we drove down, we get to this house, it's so beautiful, it's nice, and we went down with our daughter, and so it also just felt it was a family trip. And our first family trip ever. And the days would go by. So I remember I would have moments where, like, I remember the first lunch date that we had that day. So you're sitting across me, and there are times like now you've like held my hand. So in my head, I'm like, oh my God, it's going to happen now. And then it doesn't happen. So then I'm like, okay, it wasn't today.
Because you saw the ring, now I'm putting two and two together. Because me, I was oblivious.
You just knew. I'm here for...
Yeah. I know you sensed it because I told you it's important for us to go down, and I told you need to take a few days off.
Right.
And I had to even ask your paps, remember?
No, I do. Obviously, that I came to find out later.
Oh, really?
That you asked him for me, my hand in marriage.
Yeah.
Or to ask for permission for me to go down to the coast.
I had to go and ask
but you
dad
also
because,
asked him for my hand in marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
I did both.
We'll get there. Because I remember one of the things anyway. So the day one comes and goes. Day 2 comes and goes. Which day did you propose? Like day 4? So
no,
I'm
it was
running.
Actually day 2.
No, it was day 2.
It was day 2. Because now we had some
I
fun
may
after.
feel like I had waited for so long.
Okay, no, maybe day 3.
I think like
maybe
day 3.
Maybe day 3.
Yeah.
Because we got there a few days
Because now I was even feeling like, nimevaa hizi nguo za white, hata he's not proposing. So now I just... First, wait. Okay, so, so I just like, I just let go. I was just like, like, let's have... I mean, I was still having fun and I was still having moments of in the moment. But there are just times when you're just going to like deep thought. Like I remember, but this was day 3 now. Day 3, I remember it was evening. We'd done everything. We'd swam, we'd played in the sand with Niara, we'd swam in the ocean. Like, I'm even saying by this time I'd let go, because even now my hair was less just for swimming, And we'd had so much fun that day. So it was like, I was like, okay, now it's getting windy because of that ocean breeze and stuff. Niara, we need to go back to the house. And then you're like, no. Let's just walk down the beach. I'm like, bas.
This is it.
And then there's, the sun was setting. Yeah. So we walk along the beach. And then there's a time, I wish I could stand to demonstrate, but I remember the time now we'd stopped. I feel like you were having such many deep thinking moments. So you remember the time now we'd stopped. I think Niara was playing somewhere, like just around us. Then I even felt like I saw your leg even move back. Because now first you just looked into the horizon, like just stared into the horizon. And then the time
that was
now,
your mind playing tricks
it
on you.
wasn't. And then your leg moved back. So I'm like, oh my God, he's about to kneel. He's about to take a knee and ask. Like, I know that in my mind, I think a lot.
Yeah, you do.
And then you're like, okay, so we go. I'm just like...
You know, it's not now. I'm remembering how truly you're wearing all white through.
You didn't notice?
It's oh my gosh. It's
So
now I'm
even-
piecing it
So
together.
even, that day 3, I had a white dress at this moment. But now after this, but then I was just like, it's okay. And then the day was done. I was tired. I was so ready to go home and just sleep. So we drive home. And then I think we you tell me, oh yeah, the food is waiting for us at home, something like that. So we get home. So what we would do, we used to order, there's a Swahili restaurant we used to order food from. Very nice food. So we get to the house, then you tell me that they took the food to, so this house had another external, like a gazebo sort of, another room. So you tell me how they took the food to that side. So when we get there, we all walk now to, you're like, yeah, let's just go, we eat, then we sleep. So we go with Niara. I think now maybe we changed her, we sorted her out, got her, I don't know even if we did. Then we went, now we walked to that room. And now in hindsight, I remember thinking about how you really were behind all of us. Okay, like maybe you would do that off. But you are behind all of us and intentionally wanted me to go
In
first. So we get to the door of this room. So yeah, then I just open. And then I'm like, what is going on? So I remember seeing fairy lights, and then now people with placards written, will you marry me? By the way, let me tell you, I went into shock, like shock for, as in I thought I was ready, like I knew this was coming, but my mind went, because I'm looking, first I'm like, who are these people?
Yeah.
Like, where did you get people to come and stand and hold placards? And then like, when did you decorate this whole place? Then now I turn, and then you've gone on your new, I can't even remember what you said. Honestly, I feel like you are just like this.
I was just mumbling.
But then the movies where someone is talking and you're just hearing woo, woo, woo.
But yes, I remember your face. You were utterly surprised.
All I was saying is, oh my goodness.
I remember.
We're gonna plug that video here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I was in shock. Like, I wish I could have planned my engagement reaction. Like, oh my God! But like I just went mute, as in. Anyway, but that was so beautifully done.
Ay, but your pulse came through.
Yeah, so now later to find out these 5 people standing here are my friends that have come to be part of this engagement.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
I
even
don't even know how you pull
friends,
that off.
it was
Oh yeah, my friends and your friends. Sorry. Yeah.
They both came down. And I also had a pinch me moment, like
you did?
Yeah, pulling this off. Let me tell you, God was faithful. Gosh, it wasn't easy. Because first it was in the beginning of the year. It was January. You know,
it was like Feb. It was Feb.
No, it was 19th January.
Oh no, and we're gonna okay. May I think it was Feb.
May I can tell you. It was 19 because I remember having that chat with Getty, and she's like, no, the first week of January is hard because guys are still coming in from holiday. So we planned it towards the end of January. And when I spoke to your friends, I mean, everyone had their own things going on.
Yeah.
But I'd prepped them at least weeks before. I told them in December.
Because really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I knew people spend in December. And then when you go into January and you're broke, this plan won't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was the 19th of January, Manda.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue about it, but I'm going to go and check
the
photos.
Imagine you can check, by all means. And I was so proud that we pulled that off with the pearls, because for me it was also a joy. It was a huge milestone, and it marked, also it cemented my journey with God for real, because he just told me, do it. May I come through for you, but you do it. I'm like, wow, how will I do this? How will I pull this off? And I did it.
And
fantastic.
Opened up the doors.
Yeah. And after that, things were just moving.
I remember you also also talked to Niara about like what's happening.
Yeah.
And you told her that now.
Yeah.
And you gave her a ring.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, and I told her now we'll become one family. Yeah. And it was very intentional to propose to you when she was there. Because you came now as a package. You get?
Yeah. As your package, though.
Yeah, it was, of course, it was my package, but I saw the need for her to be in the equation, because I'm just not marrying. Yes, I'm marrying you, but I am.
You're now taking.
I am taking all of you and forming it into a unit.
Yeah, so it's almost like just even affirming. This is me speaking for, but almost just affirming even for all of us that, we are a family and we are starting to walk this journey together.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I think that was important, because she does remember. She keeps remembering the day you gave her a ring.
Yeah.
And she still has it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty special. What do you feel was like a key lesson or highlight for you?
Yeah. So for me, definitely, the whole faith journey. When I started to lean on God's provision, trust me, all these things were being orchestrated before my eyes.
Yeah.
I had no idea they would pan out. They panned out. But I took a leap of faith and I decided we are going. Whether I have this cash or not, things will work and things will happen. And truly, imagine the God and fail. He showed up and he showed out. Because I remember there's a point I was like, yo, is this what we just did?
Yeah.
You're like, pinch me. It was so beautiful just to see your friends, my friends there enjoying the moment, our daughter there, and it was a beautiful home. I was like, what more can I ask for? Yeah, so and it built a muscle. Like, faith is a muscle. So if you don't train it, you can't even do larger things.
Right.
And God is always using to grow that muscle so that you can be able to do even bigger and better things.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me, that was a big lesson. Act, faith it.
Faith it. Nice. All right. Thank you for sharing that, darling. You can close out this episode.
Yeah, it's really late. I know we look a bit exhausted. We tell you what hour we are running on. Yeah, this is an ungodly hour, but yeah. So guys, it's always been amazing just walking this journey. Even for us, it's more like points of connection, because when we rekindle those moments, it reminds us of God's faithfulness. And even as we're moving along on this journey, we are certain and guaranteed that there's someone on the other side who is trying to build that faith muscle, trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But life is happening. What I can say is just don't give up. Keep at it. Trust God. He'll come through for you. He's the 11th hour person. And I don't know why he likes that hour, but hey, that's how he just chooses to work. So work with him and he'll meet you on the other side, right?
Nice. Awesome. So we will be wrapping up this series with our last episode coming up next. So please join us there. We'll be talking about just wedding planning and the key lessons from this entire journey. So, and we have another third host who has woken up. Do you want to say bye to everyone?
Or rather, good night.
Say good night.
Okay.
Say subscribe. All right.
Bye.